Hello, N4H&H here. This is just going to be an operational video. Some of you have requested it. See if I can break this pile up. November 4, Hotel, November Hotel. I guess I was late. Hey, sometimes they get you in between. Sometimes it's better to be hanging over at the end.
Thank you, Joe. You're also 5'9" in Northern California.
He's in Portugal.
Delta Alpha November. Thank you for the QSO. Thank you, then. 73 Charlie.
November 4, Hotel, November Hotel.
Number 2 Tango, again.
You don't always get through first time. Unless you're my friend Joel on his mountain with his FTdx10 at 100 watts and a G5 RV Junior. N4HNH. November 4, Hotel, November Hotel. Yeah, November 4, Hotel, November Hotel. Doug in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're a big 5'9" plus here.
Okay, November 4, Hotel, November Hotel. Thank you. You're seeing 5'9". My name is Joe, okay? 5'9", 5'9", 10. My for you, Doug.
Thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate you picking me up. 73 from Atlanta, N4HNH. Okay, so you see what I did there. I delayed it, and I was hanging over at the end. And to be honest with you, I said N4H&H, and I wouldn't normally do that. I would just say November 4 Hotel, November Hotel. So I caught myself, and that probably is why, it held me over. So, there's various different ways to get through. You can be first. You could be, maybe they pick up a couple of letters in the middle in between other stations. But also quite often, if you're the one hanging over at the end, they may hear... he got all of my call, it seems, but they might only hear, I think he came back and asked for the prefix, didn't he? Maybe he thought there was something in front of the N. I don't know, but, sometimes they just maybe pick up a couple of letters tailing at the very end of the pileup, and then that's who they go back to. So there you go, Charlie Tango 1, Alpha Sugar Mike in Portugal. And I don't know if you were seeing the meter. I have it zoomed out a little bit, but he was hitting 10 over 9. Running the FTdx5000MP, of course, and I was running 900 watts from the, I'll pan over there if you're new to the channel. Let's see if you can see there. There it is. So Pileup KPA1500 sitting atop the AL80B there, which is my, move this cup, that's my older amplifier that's, 23 years old now. Still works, still has its original tube. But I picked up that Pileup a couple of years ago, and I've been super happy with it, and I even started using the internal tuner in it earlier this year because my Pilestar tuner quit on me. No complaints, it was almost 20 years old. And I'm actually so happy with this tuner that's built into the amp that I'm not even worried about getting the Pilestar fixed. And, if you've been keeping up with me this year, you know that I'm running, I had to change out the ballon when I switched tuners because the Pilestar had a built-in 4-to-1 ballon, and this one does not. So I went to, it's actually a better arrangement anyway. You want to use an external ballon, and then I've just got LMR 400 coming up to the back of this amp, and it has 2 antenna ports. But the tuner in it is remarkably wide range, enough that it actually tunes that doublet on every band that I want it to, 160 through 6. So super happy with that. And I was, like I said, it was running 900 watts. I wasn't sure what I'd be running. I just had the power on the 5000 set. Let me zoom in and I'll show you. It was at 20 watts. And I'll tell you why. If you look here, see right there, I had it at 20 watts. And the reason I had it at 20 watts is I did some work on the ballon today. I moved the ladder line. It was touching my gutter, and that's not good. So I used a rope, and I'll go out and shoot a video of that sometime, but I got it away from the gutter, and then I went through and did some retuning. And you tune in AM mode with 20 watts. So I had it set at 20 watts because I had just gone through the doublet and retuned it after moving that ladder line away from that gutter. And by the way, it wasn't running parallel to the gutter, but it was touching the gutter perpendicular. It's still not good to have ladder line that close to a metal well, you don't even want it close to a metal object, much less touching it. So that's why I was at 20 watts, and at 20 watts of drive on the 20 meter band, the KPA-1500 will deliver 900 watts. So that's the story there. So it was a 5.9 both ways. Nice contact with Portugal. To be honest, if you're new in amateur radio, Portugal, Spain, Italy, honestly, those are easy from the East Coast. Now, if you're on the West Coast, it may be a little more of a tall order. A lot of times those DX stations will intentionally make us East Coasters stand by, and you'll hear them say something like West Coast only, or they'll maybe say 6s or 7s. You know, they're trying to keep, because we're closer, they're trying to get, you know, and that's fair. You know, they want to give the West Coasters an opportunity. But here on the East, in the, you know, I say East Coast, Atlanta, I'm not really on the coast, but I grew up on the coast, and I always kind of think that. But, you know, here in the eastern U.S., Spain, Italy, Portugal are really just no problem. You can get them with 100 watts just about any time you want to. And it's more about the timing. It wasn't that 900 watts. It was the fact that I was hanging over at the end when I was calling CQ there. Some of these are just operational videos, but remember, that's the focus of my channel is operating techniques. And if you're wondering about how I had the rig configured, DSP-wise, I had digital noise reduction set at 4. And I was using the auto notch, and I'll tell you why. Just before I started this video, started the camera, somebody was tuning up. And, you know, you may have heard me be critical of the auto notch. It's called DNF on Yaesu radios. On the FTdx10, the FTdx101, it does introduce some distortion on received sideband signals, especially if they're S9 or more. On the FTdx5000MP, I've never experienced any distortion using the auto notch, so not all auto notches are created equal. Now, it's interesting, I had somebody comment today about one of my other videos about my old FT890AT, Yaesu FT890/AT, built-in antenna tuner, and it's the video where I show it with that external DSP, one of the early outboard DSP units called the TimeWave DSP59 Plus. And like I mentioned to him, that's the best auto notch I have ever experienced. And people would say, well, but it was outboard, it was audio level. Yeah, it was. It was such a tight filter, it would lock onto a heterodyne, knock it out, and you couldn't tell any difference in the received audio. Modern radios, more modern radios, they do the auto notch in the IF, and that is more noticeable. It'll actually color, we call it in the audio industry, color the tone a little bit. So this is about as good of an auto notch as I've experienced on a more modern transceiver here on the 5000. So, you know, you've heard me say it many times. My favorite radio of all time so far. No radio is perfect. Does it have some flaws? Yeah, there's a couple. I have to nitpick it. I will say I have to nitpick it to find the flaws. Maybe one day I'll tell you about the flaw in the color scheme. Yes, believe it or not, there's a flaw in the color scheme. And when I told the guy at Yaesu about it, he goes, you know, I've never noticed that. Probably left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing between the color code for the display up here and the color code for the knobs. Maybe one day I'll show you that in a video just for fun. Maybe one of my Tuesday videos. But again, hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found something helpful from this video. And like I said, some of you have just asked me to show some operational videos, so there you have one. Thank you to the Patreon support team who bring these videos to you. If you'd like to join that team, www.patreon.com. I've covered the perks on many other videos, so I won't say it here. But yeah, there are 3 levels of participation, and there are some, I'll just say some content that is available for the executive and VIP level that is not available to anyone else. And then also please, if you would, smash that thumbs up, click that like button. That helps us out with YouTube. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload another video, which is usually 1 or 2 a week. And finally, hey, please share the video with, with a friend, maybe a text message, email, social media. I would appreciate that very much as well. Hey, again, thanks for watching in 73 from N4HNH.